Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Marilu and I help women learn the skills of dating in an intelligent way where it will lead to a life of abundance and power for women. And in my last video, I talked about the importance of looking to filter out men who will not add value to your life actually, right? Who are more interested in saying the things that are gonna help you to open up without actually being willing to invest in you. And it's important to filter out those men to help maintain a safe space of peace in your life as a woman. And I've made some short reels about guilt and how much guilt dominates our lives as women. And that is not coincidental, right? There have been a lot of roles that have been assigned to women related to caretaking and being of service to the family in the home. And so it's kind of ingrained in us to feel like we have to be useful and to feel like we have to be, really earning the respect of those around us by how good we are and how hardworking we are. And, when we live with that type of programming, it's really easy to feel like you're not doing enough to deserve the care. Like you need to prove yourself or earn love as a woman. And that is actually a false belief and actually a very dangerous belief. It will make you vulnerable to attracting men who do not have the best intentions in relating to you and who are probably in a state of need and are looking more to benefit from you rather than providing for you. And that is a very important distinction to have early on in a relationship, is to understand the difference between a man who is providing and a man who is in need. No judgment to the man who is in need. However, if he is using women to supplement himself and his needs, that is not actually going to be healthy for him in the long term. So if you are attracting men who are in need, I would call you an enabler. I would say that you are actually a woman who is enabling men's unhealthy behavior. And we don't want to be enablers. We want to be encouragers of men. We want to be women who really expect the best of men. Because ultimately everybody wins if that's the case, right? If men are bringing their best, if women are expecting the best, children win first and foremost, everybody wins. So this is not a message against men. And I've been getting a lot of hate messages from men. Thankfully, none of that matters. The most important thing is all of the incredible messages I've been getting from women who are sharing their stories, who are saying, hey, I sent your video to a girlfriend in need. I think you might have saved her from this bad, unhealthy relationship. So that's really all I care about, and that's what's going to keep me going. But going back to this idea of guilt and how we are conditioned as women to have guilt as kind of a baseline. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. If I'm resting, somebody's needs aren't being met. And we just carry this immense responsibility. And listen, in times of crisis, in times of collective trauma, I think we all carry that, right? We all carry this sense of urgency that we're not doing enough to help. I think women, however, are more vulnerable to that feeling, and it kind of sticks. It kind of lingers. It's like a kind of trauma imprint in our souls where we always feel like we need to be doing more and more and more. So it's so important for us as women to heal that belief first and foremost before getting anywhere near a man. We have to heal our inability to rest and receive nurturance. I don't care if it's from God, from nature, from your partner, from wherever that nurturance is going to come from within yourself, even to be able to receive it. Are you able to rest as a woman? Are you able to turn off the internal dialogue that's pressuring you that you're not doing enough, you're not doing enough, you're not enough? That belief, if you still subscribe to that belief, you will attract a very unhealthy man into your life. Because unfortunately, men who have those psychological needs because maybe they didn't get enough of this or that in their childhood, or quite honestly, just the social programming of men and a particular entitlement that most men feel, they will take that the wrong way. Men are not women. If my girlfriend is feeling guilt about not doing enough for me, I'm going to say, girl, chill. You're fine. I love you just the way you are. You don't need to do anything. Just relax. Just you existing is enough for me to appreciate you. Our friendship is not about what you do for me. That's how women relate to each other. We really are looking out for each other in that way. Unfortunately, though, those traits are not as common in men. A man's not going to go out of his way to make you rest. If he sees that you are overexerting yourself and feeling guilty for not doing enough, it's not going to trigger in his mind, oh, let me remind her of her worth. Let me take some things off her plate. Some men who have been trained and reconditioned by the women that they love in their life do learn those skills of conscientiousness and empathy. But for the most part, ladies, we have to understand that men are not women. It is your job to make sure that you are getting the rest that you need. And you are setting the boundaries and the expectations to the man in your life. And it's not because you're resenting him. It's not because there's something wrong with him. It's because men are wired differently. They don't see things the same. Their empathy works differently. Their love works differently. So we need to understand that and take responsibility for those boundaries. If you're feeling guilty all the time, you are enabling your man to kind of lean back into that guilt. He's going to rest into your overfunctioning. If you're doing all of the chores and paying half the bills, it's not going to trigger his empathy to want to do more. Unfortunately, it's going to create a blind spot for him where he doesn't even realize that you are overfunctioning. He's just feeling a little bit of ease, some things taken off his plate. And men typically have a much easier time receiving, I don't want to say help or support, but they're not looking to overfunction the way women are typically. So over the long haul, that turns into such a severe imbalance. And it starts with guilt. It starts because you feel like you're not doing enough and you feel bad about yourself, that you have to earn the love of the people in your life, the people in your home. And instead of saying, oh my gosh, he doesn't help me. Oh my gosh, he never does anything for me. He's so selfish. He's so this and that. Listen, I get the anger. It's valid. And there's space for that. 100%. It's completely valid. However, that's not going to get us the quality of life that we deserve as women. The abundance and the power that we deserve as women so that we can blossom and actually share our gifts with the world. We have so many untapped gifts. I just got chills. We have so many untapped gifts as women. And because we're overfunctioning, because we carry deep-seated, deeply ingrained guilt, the people in our lives actually extract so much energy from us that we lose our gifts, that we hide them. They remain hidden somewhere in the back of our mind, and we know that they're there, and that's the sad part. We know that they're there, but we're so busy, caught up in the day-to-day, and we're so resentful of the man who's just like leaning back and taking, like, yeah, she does this, she does that, she takes the kids there, she does all this, and man, she's a good woman. Stop trying to be a good woman. You need to just be a woman. And y'all know this, as women, we have a lot of needs. We need a lot of care, girls. We need to rest, especially certain times of the month. We need to rest. We need beauty around us. We need to go to museums. We need to play. As women, there's so many needs that under capitalism and under this male-centric society, this culture that feeds off of the guilt of women, we lose sight of all that, and we consider it a luxury to be a woman. We consider it a luxury to want to play dress up and to want to feel beautiful and radiant. It's like, I don't have time for that. I have way too many things on my plate. And he doesn't help me. My man doesn't do shit. But you know what? You're allowing that, right? We are allowing it because we're overfunctioning, because we feel bad about ourselves. So guilt is such a big hurdle to overcome in our path towards changing the narrative around how we relate to men, especially early in the dating season of our relationship, because that's when we set the tone for what we are available for and what we are not available for. If the guy you're dating is in a tough spot in his life, especially early on where you're still kind of scoping out the situation, it's really important for you to restrain yourself from offering a little bit too much support, if you know what I mean. Getting involved in things that are none of your business because you barely know this guy. Just take a step back. And you want to have plenty of rest. You want to have plenty of downtime for yourself as best you can to be able to assess the situation properly and acknowledge, like, do I feel good around this man? Do I feel relaxed? Do I feel at ease? Do I feel like I'm allowed to have these needs and to be myself? Or am I feeling a little bit of stress? Like his life, there's some chaos going on in his life, and I'm feeling a need to kind of jump in and help him. That point of tension, if we can pause in that and say, where is this coming from? Am I doing it because it's a compulsive thing for me to overfunction because I feel bad for him, or I feel bad that I'm not helping? Or is he more of a friend and someone you're just caring about, someone that you're not romantically interested in, and you're offering help that doesn't come at the expense of your well-being or your self-care? That's a different story, right? We can be kind to men, we can offer help, but when we're looking at a romantic interest that's going to set the tone for the rest of the relationship, we have to almost overcompensate in the beginning and hold back extra so that he gets the message, hey, she's not somebody that I can use as a resource. She is somebody that I have to win her trust, that I have to earn access to her energy and her time. I have to really invest and put skin in the game to show her that I bring a lot of value as a man, and that if she allows me into her life will actually be made easier and better because of my presence in it, rather than drained of energy because she feels guilty if she doesn't help me. So please, ladies, let's look at our guilt. Let's look at the way that guilt is triggered within us, and let's pause and make different choices so that we set up our relationships to be places of nurturance and support for us as women.